Hi everyone! So today I am finally starting my van build. The first things that I want to do are tackle some of the exterior stuff. Today I'm installing FrontRunner Slim Pro roof rack. It should be a pretty easy first project to do on the van. Really excited to start out with this. And then that way I can soon install my solar. I want to install a deck on the roof rack too, where you can like sit in the back. So I have that layout actually drawn out. I'll like include it here. So you can kind of see what I plan to do with the roof rack, but today we're just focusing on the install. So I'm currently just setting everything up so it's easier because there's a lot of parts. So I just double check to make sure I have all the hardware. Currently I'm like unwrapping all the little end caps for the slats. We have everything pre-assembled right here. We got all of the hardware on the slats and all of the hardware on the side profiles. So now we have to go up to the mounting points on my Ford Transit and remove the little plugs, apply some sealant around the holes, and put the side profiles up there. And once we have that done, then we just put the slats up and they're adjustable. So the first step to the roof is to remove these little port covers. So I got something to wedge under there and then use some rubbing alcohol and the scrubby side of a sponge to remove all the adhesive. This one's almost clean. You do have to be a little patient here because this process can be a little tedious. I do want to note that we added 2 additional pieces of hardware because when installing the side profile, we noticed that the oval-shaped hole on the foot pad could allow some leaking. So we added 1 1/4 inch metal washer and 1 rubber washer. That way it completely covers that hole and it seals it so no water can get in. After all of that got prepped, it was time to put the foot pads down and then tape around the foot pads. That way when I actually adhere it, I don't make as much of a mess all over the van. It just makes the cleanup process a lot easier. Something else to keep in mind when you are working on your roof is that these ports are often not perfect. I found a little bump or imperfection in mine, so this is us correcting that. That way it's a nice flat surface to prevent any leakage.
Not the cleanest, but is that okay?
Try to find the center. You'll see it'll probably get a little squish come through the hole.
Definitely will. I put kind of a lot on.
That's okay.
Like,
it's fine.
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna squish out. That's the whole purpose of it. Go ahead and just put your bolt straight in through the hole.
This is a pretty simple process, as you can see. I'm just adding a ring of SikaFlex on the base of the foot pad and placing that down on the roof, and then I will do another ring of SikaFlex on top of the foot pad that the bracket attaches to before putting down that bolt.
That was a lot
through
better
the center
than the last one. Oh yeah, this hole is like not, well, it's centered enough, but it's not as centered with the actual rib nut. No. Another thing to keep in mind whenever you're doing installs on your roof or just working on your roof is to bring up something to hold your tools or, you know, metal objects that could scratch your roof. For me, I'm using just a foam insulation board. I found this to be great to hold any of the items that I bring up there. That way I'm just protecting my roof and not allowing anything to scratch it.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfect. Look at that. And just whoop.
We are almost done. I am so excited. Guys, okay, so you probably heard I started doing voiceovers during the install just so it would go a little smoother. The thing is, when it comes to getting aftermarket parts, not every part is going to fit seamlessly with your van, and that was probably the first lesson that I've learned so far with the van build. So my brother-in-law helped me kind of troubleshoot, which as you saw, we used a little rubber washer to kind of help make sure that everything is perfectly sealed between the foot pad, the foot, and the actual van itself. Fingers crossed. We test it out once the silicone is all cured, but I think we figured it out. But not everything is perfect with a Ford Transit van either. A lot of times people have issues with the actual ports in the van, and I noticed that the 2 front ports on both sides are actually like deeper than the rest of them. So since we added those, like the metal washer and then that rubber washer, it's a little bit higher up than what it was before. So while all the other ones, the last 3 in the back, all worked with the size bolt that was given to me with the front runner roof rack kit, the front 2 ones need to be a little longer. So I'm going to Home Depot and finding those 2 longer bolts so we can have it all done. Now for the exciting part, my solar's coming in, my skylight's coming in, my Max Air fan's coming in, I have my Starlink that I can install, and I have to make the deck. That's a lot. But now that I have the roof rack, I can kind of start installing all those things, and I'm really excited. Oh, and I have my off-road lights coming in, and specifically my light bar. I have a 50-inch light bar coming in from Rigid, so I will be installing that very soon too. So stay tuned. Lots of roof-specific things coming up, but let's go to Home Depot, get this done. Got some bolt options for the front roof rack. Brendan tackled the other profile that needed the extra little rubber, the extra little washers that we added, so he was adding those to that side profile. I also got more things than just that because slowly trying to add to my tool collection, but only buy things that I absolutely need and mostly things that I can take with me on the road. So starting, here's my tool haul.
But as you can see, it's a pretty simple process. Thankfully, I had my brother-in-law to kind of walk me through it. I was super stoked to have him there for my first ever project on my van. But once that was installed, it was time to just slide the slats on. We weren't too worried about making this exactly perfect because it is going to change based on where I put my ceiling fan and when I put that skylight in there.
Oh, hold on. I'm just gonna tighten this one so I don't mess up.
3/4?
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, we have a roof rack installed on my Ford Transit van. I am so excited to document this journey with you guys, and it is so awesome to take you guys along for the first ever project that I had with my van. I'll be documenting every part of the way. Soon I will be installing my exterior lights, installing some window flares, as well as finishing this rooftop on my van. So if you want to stay up to date, hit subscribe and turn on that notification button. I can't wait to include you guys on the next project.